So the right mindset helps us appreciate life. Our mindsets generally go to what's comfortable. So I've put down some questions that one has got to ask self. What mindset will help me progress? Are the choices I'm making good for me, or are they actually serving me? And let's give an example. I'm feeling down. So what do? I go shopping because that's a quick fix. Or I pig out on comfort food. Is that good for me? I'm not so sure. But we have choices, right? So we can train our minds to actually make the right choices. Instead of going on a shopping spree, why not go on a hike? That actually serves you so much better. Why not eat something healthy? So the comfortable spaces are easy to go to. And that's why we go to what's easy. So it's generally a pattern. So we may give us, or should I say, it does give us momentarily comfort. And momentarily comfort is just what I would term as happiness. It's generally not joy because we're doing things as a quick fix. And ultimately, all of us are searching for joy. What is joy? Joy is something that comes from the inside because we look at others and so many of us want that marriage. We want that body. There's so much that we desire, but once we get it, are we truly happy? I don't think so, because those are short-term fixes. Now, if we change our mindset to what is our purpose, and are things working in according to what the purpose is, then we'll start living a better life. So ask yourself, what can I do to prepare me for what comes next? And an example would be is have some kind of vision. What is your vision? So are you creating a vision board, or are you one that just picks up a pen and paper and just writes things down? But you've got to see it. You've got to dream it. And then you've got to be passionate about it. Is there a passion within you, a burning fire that actually wants to achieve those things? Because that's how you know that that's the direction you want to take. And then from that passion, is there action? What is your action plan? You know, it can be challenging, but when you put in the time, it's like going to the gym. There may be pain, but ultimately that pain is to get gain. So joy comes naturally. When you're doing something that is in accordance to your purpose, that's joy, because it's not created for short-term gain. Happiness is a quick fix. I'm feeling down, I'll go shopping. I'm feeling down, I'll binge. But joy is long-term. So joy is when you're doing things that truly serve your purpose. And when you understand what your purpose is, then there's joy within you because it's natural. It's just there. You don't have to go out to search for it. It's a feeling from the inside. The short-term gain are things that are on the outside. It's quick fixes. So you can't quick fix. Everything that we desire for is really within us. So I spoke to you about, I said what the mindset is, and it's the choices we make, but continuing with that, then it's what can we do to prepare for what comes next? And I spoke about the vision and the action and the passion. And the next thing I share is ask yourself, who can I ask for support? Because we don't ask enough. It's easy for us to reach out and help others, but we find it challenging to actually ask. Now, we all come from communities, there's family, there's friends, but we don't ask. And even if you look at the Bible, The Bible refers to ask and you will receive, but we just don't know how to ask. So we need to change that mindset. Reach out and ask. And you'd be amazed at how many people will actually step up and help. People just blurt it out. People ask me for money. People ask me to pray. People ask me for advice. And that's support, I think, in many ways. They ask me for financial support. So I supply support in so many different ways. You know, I give financial support. I give emotional support. I just give my time on so many occasions and just a listening ear. However, I find it very, very hard to ask for that. Or I maybe just don't know how to ask for that. And I think there's many people out there that just don't know how to ask. And if I look inside, I think I'm just afraid, or I feel like I am going to put pressure on others, or I'm maybe thinking that it's a weakness. Maybe I'll be seen as not being able to take care of myself, or maybe it's a mindset or a conscious level thing. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's always a challenge to ask. And I really don't know how to ask.
Do you think ego factors into it at all?
It may. It may. I'd like to believe for the longest time I have been very conscious of when my ego rises, you know, when I almost feel entitled. And that has slowed down immensely. You know, the more grounded I choose to become and I create the mindset of gratitude and rather focusing on all that I have, that I have enough. We generally have enough. And when we have enough, that brings joy too. But it's when we want for more, that's where the pressures come in. So I'm not really sure.
What's the worst that could happen if you reached out and asked for support in your mind?
Somebody could say no if I reached out, and I believe that rejection is, oh, it's a big thing for a lot of us. Nobody wants to feel rejected. However, you know, I self-talk for the longest time that one shouldn't be attached to the outcome. And I think just to let go and ask, and if the answer is yes, then that's a bonus. And if it's no, just accept that it's not personal. But I think that's difficult for most of us. You know, a no is a form of rejection. And maybe when one doesn't know how to say no themselves, you're almost reflecting and you're looking in a mirror and you're saying, because I don't know how to say no, if no comes my way, I won't receive it in a positive light. But that's really not the case. You know, people have boundaries and people don't say no because they don't want to do it. They're saying no either because it doesn't serve them, or they're saying no because they're not in a position to. But I don't think it comes from a negative space. So it's allowing yourself to just accept that some people can't help you at that particular given time, but it shouldn't stop you from asking. We shouldn't be afraid to ask. It's something that we need to let go of and not attach ourselves to the outcome and just ask, regardless of what the answer is going to be, because you never know who's going to say yes.
Do you trust the relationships that you have built with people who are in your inner circle?
I'd like to believe I do. I'd like to believe I trust the people that are around me, but trust doesn't come easy. I think on a subconscious level, trust doesn't come easy. And yet, on a front, I always believe that everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I've never looked at someone and thought they're guilty and they have to prove their innocence. So I have a very open spirit. But it's conflicting because when you ask me now, do I trust? I'd like to believe I do trust, actually, on second thoughts.
How far does that trust reach? Because if you feel like the people that are closest to you, you struggle to ask them for support, it means there's something in your mind that either believes they may be unable to show up to support you, or that they are the people that you cannot trust to speak about the thing you need support about. That's why I'm asking.
Okay,
I
think let's put it this way. I do trust the people around me, but because my belief is that I've been the pillar for the longest time and I've been the strength, I've been the go-to. And it's almost like if you look at a leader, you look at the leader who's the pillar, and if the pillar crumbles, then what happens to the rest of everybody else? So it's almost like a sense of responsibility. I think that you've always got to show up. But in the latter years, I'd like to believe that I've allowed myself to share more, to become a lot more vulnerable. And I think the inner circle is just there, whether I ask them or not. I think they can actually see more than I can see where the need is. And they show up regardlessly.
Do you see it as support, though? Because if you haven't explicitly, you need support. Because if your understanding is that you're the central pillar, have you given them a chance to show you how they could show up to support you in the thing that you need?
Probably not. Probably not, because I think the support comes in different forms. It's like if I just look back and I look at everybody around me. I mean, mom's there, dad's there, Sharish is there is support, but I think what I really need is emotional support. And I'm not sure if any of the people around me are able to give me that support. Or maybe the fact is, like you say, I just haven't asked. And if I do ask, I can't even see what it looks like. So I don't really know what I'm asking for. I mean, I say emotional support because one feels depleted, but in order to fix that emotional support, what do I actually need? Have I deciphered what I need? If you can't see it, how do you know what it is? So how do you know what to ask for?
Do you feel you put an unnecessary pressure on yourself to always know the outcome before you take the first step?
I believe I do that. I believe I put a lot of pressure on myself because I've been one for the longest time. I analyze and I've been self-sufficient, and I have always done things for myself and for everybody else. And I think received a lot from many people, but again, I don't know if it showed up in the spaces of what the lack on my side is. And if I can't identify what that lack is myself, then, like I share, how do you ask for it?
How do you understand that a bold woman who might be exactly like you, who plays the role that you play in your family, who thinks and understands the world the way that you do, how do you think they can come into the space and truly let their guard down when you can identify that it's challenging for you to do the same, even for yourself?
I believe when you bottle things, it's stagnant and it just sits inside of you. But when you share and you allow yourself to speak and you're open enough and you're in an environment that is safe and others start sharing their stories and you share yours, you're amazed at how much similarity there is amongst so many women. And when you just allow yourself just to keep speaking like I'm doing now, and one thing leads to another because it triggers something as you're sharing your story. And the story just flows because you start unpacking. You start unpacking, the questions are asked, somebody else answers it, you answer it. And amongst all of you, you will find that you're able to solve something because alone, nothing's really easy. You can achieve, but it's not easy. But when you're more than one and you're a team and there's trust and you'll be able to reach out and you can share, you express more. You don't even realize that when the right question is asked, you're able to speak. Because on your own, you keep just deciphering and things are going round and round in your head and you're analyzing. But when you're sitting around a table of women that are all sharing so much pain and the question is being asked and you're all interacting and engaging with one another, the pennies just drop and so much more is shared. And you're able to walk away with so much more.
What do you think you contribute to that leaves your life stagnating?
Repeat that.
What do you think you are contributing to in your own life being stagnant in the areas that you say are stagnant?
It's a challenging question. I believe I'm stubborn. I believe I let go a portion, but I don't let go fully. And when you don't let go fully, it's almost like you put one step in, one step out, put a step back in and pull a step out. And if you don't allow yourself to truly surrender completely, it's almost like, the song where new wine, you can't pour new wine into an old casket. So again, it comes back to the mindset of letting go of yesterday to allow tomorrow to flow.
Is it easier to believe that it's everyone around you who leaves you feeling depleted?
I think blame is easy. It's so easy to not take responsibility and find reasons to point fingers at everybody else around you. Yet that work can only be done by yourself. Only you can fix you, right? Because everything is on the inside of you. But we're always reflecting at how the outside contributes to the inside.
Whose voice is the most important to you?
Who?
Whose voice, stroke opinion, stroke perception, is the most important to you?
The most important voice should be mine. But the sad thing is, I allow everybody else around me to contribute, and I allow myself to be influenced what others think. And if I just blocked all those sounds out, I believe that my voice would be a lot louder. But I think it's a journey. And I believe that that's the journey that I'm on, because you can only do better when you know better. And it's a lot easier said than done. So, in the conversation and in being bold and in allowing yourself to be vulnerable and in having these group sessions where dialogue flows freely in a trusted space, we're able to hear a little more of our own voices rather than the outside noises. But it takes a lot of strength to actually allow yourself to be true to yourself.
What would you say to yourself if you could hear your voice now?
If I could hear my voice louder, wow, I'd say to myself, just be you. Try and be a little gentler. Try and be a little more compassionate and allow yourself to live. Just be free. Allow your truth just to flow. And it really doesn't matter what others think, but believe it. Don't just say it, believe it.
What are some of the things that you are saying but not believing?
I think I say that I'm happy, but I'm not really happy. I think I say that I feel secure, but I'm not really feeling secure. I've had to learn to forgive myself. For the longest time, I haven't forgiven myself. For the longest time, I've been so hard on myself, it's unbelievable. But the more I learn and the more I grow and the more I connect and the more conscious I become, the more I'm learning to, on a daily basis, forgive myself, to love myself, to hold myself, to look at myself, to be more compassionate with myself. And it's so important. And it's only now that I know that those are the things that I need to do that I'm actually doing it. Do I believe it every day? I don't think so. But I must say that it's definitely growing to be a lot more positive because as I do it more, I'm starting to believe it more.